What's going on, guys? Welcome on to another video. I'm Matt and Zoe, and today we're taking out the Voge 900 DSX. Now this potentially could be in the running for the next bike. Now this isn't going to be a full typical review because I don't have this bike for very long. So this is just going to be like a quick initial thoughts on this bike. Oh, the old loosey-goosey mirror. So let's get some stats and figures out straight away. This bike is coming in at around 9,100, 9,200 on the road, and that's with a full three-piece luggage. I've just been told by the dealer that if you don't want the luggage, you don't have to take it, and it'll make it cheaper, at about £8,500. If you're not too sure what this bike is about, basically, it's a cheaper version of the F850 F900 from BMW. The company that makes the BMW also makes this bike. So I thought, why not go and test it out? With this bike being at the price range it is for this 900 twin cylinder, there's obviously going to be cutbacks. But before we get into some of the cutbacks, sort of my personal opinion, we're going to look at the engine. This thing has got 95 brake horsepower and 95 Nm and torque. Now it's not quite as peppy as the BMW F900, but a little bit more than the 850. As with most bikes though, if you wanted, you could get this tuned and you'll probably get a little bit more out of it. Now I'm 6'1", and I do have quite a strong bend in the knees whilst I'm sat, so I don't know if that's the pegs being a little bit higher or the seat being a little bit lower. It's not too bad, it's not an uncomfortable position. Talking about the seat, it's coming in at 825mm, so it's not the tallest, but also it's not the shortest. It's, for me, the kind of 8 to 820 is that nice middle ground for the shorter riders to still be able to ride most bikes. Ergonomics, the handlebar is quite a reach. It is kind of at the max distance from my torso where I'd like it, but for my size it's a comfortable distance. Any more, maybe not so. The brakes aren't bad. I think we've got twin 305s at the front and then a 265 at the rear. And we do have Brembo master cylinders as well. It's one of them, again though, if you are expecting top level components, top level feel, like the switch gear, everything like that, you might be slightly disappointed. But then if you remind yourself that you could buy almost 3 of these bikes and get yourself a GSA. So when we look at the specs and the electronics and the gadgets and everything that this bike has to offer, it can't be ignored. And hopefully some of the bigger companies like BMW and KTM and Yamaha not too bad, Ducati, that they realise that we don't want to be spending 25-30 grand on bikes when we get something that kind of ticks all the boxes for under 10 grand. Take Honda, perfect example, CB 1000, was it 899, and then 8999, and then the CB 1000 SP is like 9999. That is what we want. So a quick overview of this bike from front to the back. Starting at the front, just inside there, we do have like a dash cam inbuilt, and then there's a button on the right handlebar to take photos and kind of make sure it's recorded. To view the footage, you have to have the Voge app. LEDs all round, spotlights. Bear in mind, everything I'm saying, it comes as standard, remember that. Adjustable screen, I think you just kind of hand yank it. Knuckle guards. Crash bars. Like I said, we got Brembos at the front. 305 discs. Can't really see it. We've got a radiator guard. There's going to be 2 colours for the 25, I believe, which is this kind of goldy, silvery with a little bit of yellow, and then there's going to be like a black and gold, which looks really nice. Rear rack, grab handles, and don't forget I said obviously this comes with the full luggage, and if you don't want the luggage, it still comes with all the racking on the side, so you can then attach any soft bags or other hard luggage that you may want to get. So like for me, I've got Lone Rider bags. And obviously on the back plate of the Lone Rider bags, you can change where all the mounting points are. So hopefully, if I was to get this, don't get the luggage, just use my Lone Rider and then readjust where all the mounting brackets go. Side stand, centre stand, quick shifter up and down. We've got blind spot indicators in the mirrors. a 7-inch TFT screen, 4 rider modes, rain, road, sport and enduro I believe. Tyre pressure monitoring system, and a day like today is very handy. Heated grips and heated seat as well. On the left hand switch gear, the 2 buttons there, that's going to be grips and then seat. I forgot to say, adjustable KYB upside down forks at the front, and then adjustable KYB monoshock at the rear, 21-inch rim at the front, and then a 17 at the rear. That for me is a hell of a lot of accessories and goodies that you want on your bike, which other manufacturers you have to pay for. And the fact that all that is included at that price is really good. But let's jump back on the road and I'll tell you how it handles, how it feels, and then sadly I'll go drop it off. And I forgot to say as well, left and right of the screen you've got more charging points. Right hand side you've got a 12-volt socket, and on the left hand side you've got a USB-C and a USB-A charging point. Throttle response, I am in rain mode at the minute and it is really nice and smooth. There's no jerkiness. Moving over to road mode activated. Definitely picks up a little bit more peppy there, but still not too bad on that first 10% pickup. Whacking it into sport, and it is a little bit choppy on that initial pickup. So I did find it earlier, I was kind of going round and roundabout and it was a little bit choppy in sport. Definitely sounds a little bit livelier. The engine does feel nice and pokey. A good thing with the ABS as well is that you can turn it off. So when if you want to do off-road, you can turn it off and have a little bit of extra fun. Yeah, I mean, I've always say this, but normally the smaller bikes, because the smaller bikes are what are cheaper, that if you don't go into it wanting the world and you kind of just happy with kind of what it gives you and not going, oh, I want this, I want top grade brakes, or the throttle wants to be perfect, whatever, ignore that. And if you just jump on a bike and take it for what it gives you, I tend to find you're normally quite surprised at how good some of these bikes are for the price points. So it's got a quick shifter up and down, a little bit clunky, not the smoothest, but then again I'm not accelerating hard, I am just doing obviously town speed. I'm not sure the weight of the bike I put on the screen, I think it's about 230, 240. Actually, that's about the same as kind of GS. Let me tell you, the traction control does start flickering if in sport mode you give it a fistful. It does get a little bit lively. Flickability, it's not too bad, it's not the flickiest, but it handles nicely. It doesn't absolutely drop into the flick, but it does handle nicely. Overall, you know what, I am quite impressed by the bike. Yeah, when I said at the start about some of the cheaper components, the switch gear, it does feel a little bit cheap, but again, if you kind of just get on and accept it and don't worry about that, it ain't too bad. Comfort wise, the seat doesn't feel the thickest. I am a heavier onset guy. Should we put the heated seat on and heated grips, see how they feel? Like, I know the GS and GSA has the heated seat option, but that's an added accessory of like £300-400, something I've never been worried about getting aftermarket fitted, but if it comes with it, I'll take it. Yeah, a little throttle is a little bit snatchy in sport, but as I did say, if I had this, I'd probably get it an ECU flash, get a little bit more out of the engine, and then smoothen out that throttle, make it just a little bit easier, especially around town. I believe if you have the Voge app and you connect it actually to the bike, because the bike does have mobile connectivity, that at a minimum, I read it's got turn-by-turn navigation. And I saw someone's comment about the 25 plates having like Apple CarPlay inbuilt into the screen. I can't confirm that. Maybe one of you can drop a comment below and let me know. But I am a bit of a sucker for having some form of navigation on the screen, so rather than having the phone in my pocket or mounted to the handlebar, when I say phone in my pocket, I mean sending me maps navigation to my headset without me being able to see the phone. But I like the idea of having the phone away and having the maps on the screen. I quite like the sound of this exhaust as well. But yeah, I probably would get something else on it. You can't argue with the pull of this engine. Yeah, I mean, it's just little things like we've got like wires kind of sticking out. Actually, you've got the blind spot detectors wiring kind of just there. Like, it's not a premium finish, but like I said, if you expect that, you'll probably be disappointed. But you're not paying for premium finish. Now, I'm sorry if you were hoping you're going to see me out in some back roads, in some national speed limits. But that's just not been possible for today's video. But you never know. This may make an appearance in another test ride in the not so far future. And if that's the case, then I will definitely take that for a longer test ride, get it out into the back roads and really open it up. But I have been impressed with this bike so far, not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, the clutch bite point is perfect. There is no hesitation when you go to pull away from the traffic lights. If you were going to take this off-road, it's a little bit short as in the handlebar, sorry, a little bit short as in low. So being 6'1", I'm a little bit taller than the average. So I'd end up getting bar risers for this just to bring it up a little bit. And another thing is this bike has cruise control as well. So I note traffic lights. The seat is a little bit wider at the front. It kind of does definitely force my legs out. I'm flat-footed on the right, and the heel is just up on the left. But yeah, cruise control, always nice to see on the bikes that you can do a little bit longer riding on. It doesn't have the throttle roll-on to cancel, though. You have to do, obviously, one of the brakes or the clutch. But I do like the throttle roll-on. That's kind of how the GSA's got it, and it's what I've been used to. Well, guys, nothing else to say, but thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, ride safe.